trusting the process. So what does it mean to trust the process? What is the process? And why is it important to trust the process? So first question here, the first statement here is trusting the process. So what does it mean to me to trust the process? It means having patience, understanding, and that means being honest with yourself and not rushing any moment in your life, experiencing it all, right? What is the process? The process is life to death. Those amount of years that you're living until you die is your process, okay? And then now, why is it important to trust the process? It's important to trust the process because it's life. And when you trust life and you trust that the universe is going to do what it wants to do, then you let it go as it comes to pass, right? So you experience it, you experience these things in life, and then you let it go and you move on to your next day, okay? This is all a part of the process. And I've listened to quite a few motivational speakers in my life. I've watched videos, and everybody is going to tell you a lot of the same things. You know, it's you have love and you have fear. You have these two emotions, state of mind, state of being, whatever you want to call it. And fear is what is stopping you or not, you're not letting you let go of things that, you know, you don't enjoy, or maybe something that you really want to do, but you keep telling yourself that you can't do it. That is your mind playing tricks on you. I mean, your mind is telling you, you have this fear and you're saying, oh no, I can't do that. Maybe because you're missing a finger or because you can't see out of one eye. Those are physical, those are physical things that happen to us, but it's all, and as harsh as it may sound, it's all a part of the process and letting the universe do what it has to do. And when you're in this process, there are people who spend so much of their life, wanting something else or striving for something better, but they let that fear stop them from doing that. And something that was I thought that was really well said, there's a lot of things that were really well said, but a couple of things that I want to say to you guys is, it was like reading a book or watching a movie at the end, just the last couple minutes of a movie or just the last couple minutes of a book. You just missed everything, and that's what happens for a lot of people is they're just working towards your retirement to get this nice car, but you're missing out on everything else in between. You just worked so hard to get that one thing at 60 years old, 65 years old, you're working and working. But my whole point is that it's not the process of going to work every day and then, because maybe that person that's working is really enjoying that day-to-day job. Okay, they enjoy that job. But there is so many percentage of people that are doing it because they feel like they have to, because they feel like that's the only way they're going to get to this, what supposedly everybody else thinks is living life, working 9-to-5 job. But Jim Carrey was somebody that is extremely inspirational for me. He just has a lot of wisdom about life. And, even though he's a comedian and everybody thinks he's just about being funny, he's actually one of the most inspirational people in my life. I've listened to Jim Carrey on multiple motivational videos. He's been to conferences to talk to people. And, he's done a lot. I mean, I don't need to get going on that. But, one of the things he was talking about how his dad, his dad had dreams of doing something better. He always had dreams of doing something on his own, and his dad decided that he wasn't good enough to do his dreams, follow his dreams, so he just stopped it, let it go because of the fear. He didn't let it go. That fear kept him from doing that. He worked as an accountant for years and years just to retire, just to tell everybody that, he hated what he did and that he only did it because he felt like that's what he was supposed to do. Now, the important thing is, I don't want to get too much about working 9-to-5 jobs and, all that thing. That's not even what this is about. What it's about is, like I said, it's the amount of life that you are living in your years. That's what it's about. How much life are you living? What are you doing every day that's giving you life? And it's as easy as, we have somebody else was talking about our unconscious and our conscious mind, which we all know about. So we have a moment where something goes off, right? And it's a beautiful sound. That's an unconscious thing that's happening, but we're taking the time to consciously be aware of it and enjoy that moment in life. And that's about the process too. And then to think, okay, what will you do to serve the world? Because each and every single one of us have some sort of talent to serve the world. Whether you want to believe it or not, and I want you to believe it, because if you don't, that's just fear. And I'm going on here talking because I feel like having a podcast and I mean, I have a blog and my website will be up. I just think it's important for me to say what's on my mind or talk about things that I think are important and relevant to people today. There's so many things that people tell you, as far as life, like, oh, you have to have a routine, you have to go to bed at this time, you have to sleep this many hours, that could be true, and that could be, how you want to live your life. You think that having a routine is, the right way to go, and that's okay. But once you make that commitment for yourself, any sort of commitment for yourself, you stick to it, right? You stick to it, and you don't hope that things are going to work out. You know that things are going to work out, and you have faith in yourself. You have that love, and you don't have that fear. Like I said, it could take you 20,000 times to get something right. Like this podcast, I still have a lot of work to do, and I have a lot of, have to learn about editing and, getting my microphone right and all these things. I have so much to learn, and I'm okay with that. Like this process of starting a podcast and being an entrepreneur and all those things, it's tough, but I'm enjoying every single moment of it. Because I don't have to go to work every day, and if I want to see my daughter, or if I need to pick her up, or if she wants to come in, I don't have to worry about being anywhere or doing anything, because I'm not letting fear take over any part of my life anymore. I'm not scared that anything is going to happen to me, and I'm not scared, not even so much that something's going to happen to me, but, it's more about, like, knowing that this is just my life. And this is, every day I wake up and I make decisions to be happy and, to enjoy the people that I have around me, even if it's not that many. And, in the same thing that I said before, let the universe do what it wants to do, as it comes to pass. And when you open a door in your head, and that comes to real life, that door comes to real life because you've opened that door. You've let that fear go in your head, and if you've opened the door, and it comes to life, you just walk through the doors. You don't question yourself. You don't fear anything. You just go through it. When you have the opportunity, you take those opportunities. Whether you think it's scary or not, guess what? You're living your life. And that is like so, so important to me. And because I have spent so much of my life being angry and sad about so many stupid things and people. I really, and I'm sure you guys can hear it in my voice, how important it is for me to tell you to just live your life. Live the life that you want. Okay? Live your life. And you have to think about, and just really think about that statement that I said. How much life have you lived in your years? The amount of life in your years, okay? How much life have you lived? And are you happy with what you've been doing? Now, when you give yourself the one thing that is important to push yourself to start new things if you want to. If you're not happy with yourself, you're not happy with the situation, you're living in fear. That's really what it comes down to. So you have to give yourself time, to focus on the important things in life. You can't just rush everything, and you can't just expect things to just fall in your lap. That's why you live life, and you let the unconscious things happen and the conscious things happen, and you just you basically are going with the flow at that time. Yeah, you're gonna, you might get mad, or something really bad is gonna happen, some really good things are gonna happen. But when you make a commitment for yourself, it's as simple as, and I've even talked about this before, taking baby steps, and not even taking baby steps, but taking steps to get to that goal, and you're going to fall back. You're making this 21-day commitment, for example, and you stop at 10 days. You got to start all over again. Go from the very beginning and do it again. Because that's a part of the process. You just cheated yourself on something that you told yourself you were going to commit yourself to. And you have faith, and you commit yourself, and you have love in everything that you're doing in that particular moment. And like I said, you don't want to rush it. You want to be playful all the time with everything that you're doing. A playful heart. Life is not supposed to be serious, all the time. We have a serious situation going on, but we all have the opportunity to love and be playful with each other. And there's so many cool things that I've seen people doing, supporting everyone and putting these things in the, in the windows and doing drive-bys for birthdays. And there's still so many good people out there. And I love that people are trying to embrace. There are some people that are still trying to embrace and trust the process of this life. This is something that I actually thought of just before I started recording this. We are in just a part of the process of life right now. There are lots of viruses and bacteria all over the world that we don't even know about that could come at any point in time. We are just in one little process. Think about, you've been alive for how many years, depending on what age you are. I've 30 years. It's taken me 30 years to still get to this point that I'm at now. And I have the opportunity to still live my life and trust my process every single day. Like right now, today, I'm going to take time to work, to do things to work on myself. I might work on my podcast, but I'm not setting a schedule for myself is important, but it also is not, because I think it's important for us to know that things are not always going to go as planned. They always say plan things ahead of time and it works best that way. No, it doesn't. It's never going to be exactly how you want. Just like all these people, this is a prime example right now. We've had a huge thing. We had almost a catastrophe going on right now. There's all these people with the virus and all this controversy and theories and things like that. And you guys know how I feel about it, so I'm not going to get in depth with it. But, this is just all a part of the process of life. And we are just going through a phase. And, maybe in a couple weeks, in a couple days, things could change every hour, and there's so many people that have planned so many things this year, and they're all canceled and everything like that. But guess what? That's just life. That's a part of the process. And I know you guys are sitting here like, oh, I already know this, and you're just talking a whole bunch of stuff that everybody already knows. But I just think it's important for everybody to hear it right now again. Like, this is just a part of life. This is what the universe needs to go through. We as human beings are, not always the best thing for this planet. We destroy a lot of things. So you have to think, a tree is going through the process, and we cut it down. We just ended that tree's process. So when you think about it like that, you have the life and you have death and you have the in-between. You have to live those years of life. Okay? It's not about going to a job. It's not about being the best of the best. It's about love, a playful heart, having faith, and getting rid of all the fear that you have. You have to let it go. And trust the process. Trust yourself. And love, 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 love yourself. Thanks, guys.